Oh yeah, what's up guys? My name is Stone. Welcome to these reviews. Welcome back if it's not your first time here. Now, I'm doing something a little different for this video. Today, I'm gonna lighten up a little. Gotta shake up. Got my cool guy glasses on. I'm ready to talk about some cool fucking albums. Some albums that I think will look great in your collection. And not only that, make you look like you have great taste. These are albums that will make you look so hip that people will be trembling to show you music because like, oh, this guy's got great taste, this guy's got this guy's got that, this guy's got it all. Whether they like it or not, they will be blown away by these 20 albums. Whether you like it or not, you should buy them because they just look so dope, you know? These are great albums to just show people when you're in your music room listening to vinyl, whether it's your mom, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your only friend, because you don't have a lot of friends. Who needs friends when you got vinyl? But that's a different subject. If you have a friend or two and they come over and you're trying to impress them with your wonderful music tastes, I got you. Here are 20 albums, 20 or so, that I think are the bomb and worth having. Now, this album I'm going to start off with, it's kind of underrated. Underrated. You might hear me say that a lot. There's a lot of Fleetwood Mac albums that I think could make it on this list. Not Rumors. Rumors is too mainstream. It's still my favorite Fleetwood Mac album, but it'll make you look like a normie if that's the one you pull out. You're like, oh my god, Dreams, Go Your Own Way. Yeah, we all know those songs. The Chain, whatever. They don't even compare. They are better, but they do not compare to Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. They do not compare to their first masterpiece, in my opinion, Then Play On. This album will just tear you apart with just how bluesy and trippy it is. Not even trying to be psychedelic, but man, they were able to capture that sad atmosphere on songs like Closing My Eyes, Without You. In the beginning, oh my god, in the beginning will tear you apart. I know it did to me. But there's even more rocking stuff on here. Searching for Madge, Fighting for Madge, Coming Your Way. Oh my god, what a sexy opener. Am I right? So yeah, if you don't know this album, what are you waiting for? Check it out. This is the cool one with books, where it's like a book and shit. So you get like nice photos, words. I'm being horrible at showing, but trust me, buy it for yourself and see. Or just Google it. Now we have, I put them in a random order, so I didn't expect to do this one so soon, but this is probably my favorite album of all time. Spoilers. It is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I feel like a lot of people I know that are into the same music as me agree that this album is a masterpiece and is like such a banger and it's just beyond anything and everything. And I'm here to say the same thing. This album is crazy good. I've had this album for years. I've been too intimidated to even review it because it's that good. This isn't counting a review, by the way. A lot of these albums I'm going to review later, or I've already reviewed, but The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I mean, this is just Peter Gabriel's epic, the last one he did with the band. Incredible concept album. Whether you could follow it or not, it is just amazing. The music, amazing. Just everything about this record. I could sing it to you backwards. Maybe not backwards, but forwards. Because it's just that good. It's that ingrained in my mind. And it's just, I mean, look at the cover. Look at the cover. You're going to act like this isn't a cool record to put on? Nah. Come on. Come on. Come on, bro. Great album. Another album that I've already reviewed. Comes from a band I absolutely adore. That's... They have a lot of great albums, a lot of great instrumental albums. So it's tough to choose which is the hip one. You know, what's the one that's going to really show you off? Or show them off, I guess. But at the end of the day, you have to go with their classic because they're not that big of a band. But if you know this album, you know that it is out of sorts. It is wild. Definitely their best. I feel like my review does not justify how amazing this fucking album is. This album will blow your socks off and your cocks off if you have a cock. I mean, just 4 songs, 20 minutes around each song length, you know? Most people nowadays, they can't handle long songs, but when you're like, hey, let's put this album on, it's really tame, you know? Just lie to them, and then play Facelift, and then watch their face melt, you know? Watch their face lift, because they're so impressed by your musical taste, you know? They're like, oh my god, wow. Or, I don't know. I do know, actually. I do know. But yeah. Should go into more detail. Third amazing album though. Every song on it is killer. Every moment is pretty amazing. There's not really a dull moment whatsoever. Listen to the album if you haven't heard it. What are you waiting for? Then we got another banger of an album. Definitely not jazzy like Soft Machine, but some killer ass garage rock. And I'm talking about the Chocolate Watchband. This album took me a while to find. Colored vinyl, so I'll show it off. Whoa. Amazing album. This is for those people that like a lot of Rolling Stones and shit and only like to dip their toes in psych. This is like their gateway for them, you know? You play this record, they're like, well, it sounds so groovy and all that, but then you get songs like Dark Side of the Mushroom, and then that's when the edibles kick in. Whether you have put edibles in your system or not, when you get to that song, you know you're about to trip out a little, and you know you hear some great songs. Even though it's like 15 minutes each side. Oh, so short, but a great short album regardless. You say, I don't know what it says backwards. Basically, it's saying it's a hard album to find originally, so they repressed it. Thank you, company. I didn't want to spend 2,000 schmackaroos on that thing. I should have mentioned at the beginning, too, that this is In a Silent Way by Miles Davis, if you're not familiar. And this album deserves to be on this list, but I decided to go with a better Miles Davis record. Probably his most notorious record. Not that one you're thinking, the other one. I'm thinking Bitches Brew. Yes, Bitches Brew is an ultimate peak in music in general. I learned about it in my college classes. Whoa, see, that's a great conversation starter, talking to the girl who doesn't care, but you're playing it anyway. Whether they like it or not, they gotta admit, this thing is jazzy, and this thing is progressive, this thing's psychedelic, this thing is just out of this world. It's fucking Bitches Brew. Nothing tops this album in terms of just like how, you know? Shouldn't shake it too much, it's a fragile pressing, but it is a first pressing. And yeah, this album is just really good, you know? You already know, why am I telling you? Just because you want to hear me say it, I get it. It's good. Everything's all good now. But yeah, just play Pharaoh's Dance for them and then just hotbox that room, you know? Then we get to another album. One of my, I don't want to say it's one of my favorites, but man, it stuck around me for so long. It's in my mind, it's in my heart, you know? On a personal soul level. I'm not making sense, but you get what I mean if you're still watching. Talking about Skip Spence, or I got this album recently. I never thought I could find this album for cheap. I found it online for $30. That's reasonable compared to like $200 older pressings. And I absolutely love this record. This is definitely an album to trip people out because they don't expect it. They don't really think it's anything wild until you play it, and then you're like, oh, this guy's just on drugs dancing around. Not really. You know the story. I mean, I love telling people a story, talking over the music because I'm that fucking dude. But when I'm not talking over the music, it is just so sad, so emotional, so personal. And it makes your personality look cool. So thank you, Skip. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Love that dude. Never met him, but I wish I did. Now we come to a different kind of music that is so fucking good. I was going to put Trout Mask Replica on this video because that is one of the just most rebellious albums ever made. That will make you look so cool. But I decided to be a contrarian, you know? Because that's what I'm all about, being contrarian. Ooh, what? It's mainstream? Don't like it. But this is peak Captain Beefheart in my opinion. This has the melody. It's still outrageous like Trout Mask, but it's got a little more melody to it. It's a little more palatable for your mainstream Taylor Swift fans to kind of understand, you know. But they won't understand our taste. They don't get us. They will never. That's why you gotta force this down their throat. Songs like I wanna find a woman to hold my big toe till I have to go. What else? Smithsonian Institute Blues. Japan in a Dishpan. You know, these songs will just, like I said, will blow their socks off. They don't know what to make of it. They'll just be like, wow, man, I never knew this music existed until you came into my life. And then that's where they thank you. So just be thankful if you have it in your collection. I wish I could get rid of this, but this is a cool promo pressing, and I guess that's how they tagged it back in the day. So it goes. So it goes. Man, I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm already out of breath, but coming to another one of my favorite artists of all time, as of lately, and it's impossible to choose one hip album to introduce a listener to, or to make your collection look cool, because this guy just has so many fucking banger albums. I'm talking about Frank Zappa. Now, originally, I was going to do Freak Out, but then I'm like, no, Absolutely Free. No. Hot Rats. No. Weasels. No. We're only in it for the money. Oh my god. It was so difficult. But I went through all his albums. I listened to some of the vinyl I have by him. And I have to go with Uncle Me. I mean, this album is just, honestly, probably my favorite Zappa album still. It used to be Freak Out, but I think this just has such more of a bite to it. And it's just got such a great variety, and it comes with a booklet, you know? So that's what I'm trying to remind myself. I'm talking about records, so I gotta consider the packaging and whatnot. And this has some great packaging. It's got a cute little book, got some cute little music, got some weird ass music, which is great because it just makes your taste look better. You're like, oh, it's good because it's supposed to sound bad, you know? I don't want to sound like one of those guys, but damn straight, when it works, and when it doesn't work, it still works. So yeah, Uncle Meat, I mean, Project X, King Kong, those classics, and others off that album. But another band I really loved that was tough to choose. I was like, what album am I going to choose by them? Another King Crimson, basically what I'm trying to say. Now, it would be normie of me to be like, oh, in the Court of the Crimson King. Even a little normie to say Lark's Tongue's an Aspect, which is still my favorite record by them. So maybe I'm a normie inside, but outside, I'm the most contrarian person you ever met. And this is a pretty, I don't know how you say it. Some people like it, some people don't. But I love this record. Top 3, easily, Lizard. This album is just so bonkers, so medieval sounding. When you play, I play this shit casually, and people look at you like, what? What are you doing, Stone? I say, I'm doing you after I'm doing this record on the turntable. You got what I mean. I mean, this record is just so good, so weird. I mean, a lot of people don't like the first side. I love the first side. Happy Family, Indoor Games, oh my god. And then Lizard, I mean, definitely one of the best songs ever made in my opinion. Mostly for Bolero, the Peacock's Tail, which you probably know the moment I'm thinking. But yeah, that moment is one of the best moments in all of music, or at least my musical taste. So yeah, Lizard, buy this album already. It's cheap, unless it isn't. Even if it's $200, just buy it. Just do me a favor, bro, just buy it. Now, thumbnail time, because this is the album I wanted to pose for. Another band that's kind of hard to find their albums. When I do, their new pressings, a little on the pricey side, but Can is the band to have in your collection. You want to look hip? You want to get Tago Mago. You want to look really hip? You want to get Future Days. But if you want to be the coolest guy in the tri-state area, Monster Movie. Monster Movie is just where it's at. Some people don't like it. Some people are like, well, it doesn't have Damo Suzuki on it. Whatever. Malcolm Mooney kills it on this record. He provides something that Damo couldn't, and I'd say it's him actually making somewhat sense. That's kind of bullshit though, because some of the lyrics are pretty wild on here too, and nonsensical. But I mean, just put on "You Do Right," you know? That's the song. If you had to pick one song to show your friends off this entire list, it's "You Do Right." That song will get them hating you, but then loving you, because 20 minutes in, they're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe he showed me this amazing piece of music, you know? And I'll be like, you're welcome. But yeah, first Can album, sorry, the Can album, you can't really tell. Yeah, wild, but amazing album. Don't not listen to it. Okay, now, another band, super mainstream, super cheesy. People hate them. They're probably the best band in the world, in my opinion. You already know them. It's the Beatles. If you had to choose one best band in the world, if you said Led Zeppelin, I agree with you. Or I wouldn't disagree with you, but personally, it's the Beatles all the way, no doubt. So what's the Beatles album? If you had to have one in your collection, what's the one you're gonna have that make you look the coolest? You know, Sgt. Pepper? Nah. It's a great album, but no. Album cover's too famous. Abbey Road? Nah. Great album too, though. Just too cheesy, you know? Just get a poster if you're gonna be that corny dude in the record store. But the one record you gotta have that when you put it on, people will subvert all their expectations about the Beatles is the motherfucking White Album, you know? This album is just... I can't say it's my favorite Beatles album, but goddamn, it's just got so many banging songs on it. Songs like Savoy, Truffle, Don't Pass Me By, Why Don't We Do It in the Road, what else? Honey Pie? Oh my god, Honey Pie is one of my favorite songs by them in general. Obla Di Obla Da, Happiness is a Warm Gun. What else? Birthday Sometimes. Helter Skelter. Just everything, you know? I mean, I'm picking out obviously just songs that come to my head, but like this whole album rocks. Does not lose steam. If you say side 4 sucks, you suck. Because side 4 is amazing. One of my favorite sides of Beatles music. Gotta contain myself though. Kind of yelling at my phone for no reason. I just assume you're yelling back at me, so I have to be aggressive towards you, you know? But yeah, if you don't know this album, I would tell you to stop watching the video to listen to it, but keep watching. Listen to it later. Alright. Oh, what? The music's over. I'm just gonna start it over, because I'm that guy. If you don't like it, go punk yourself. Anywho, I think we're halfway there. Maybe. If you're still watching, I love you. Now, we're gonna talk about some Supertramp, you know? Supertramp's a great band. I'd want to say Breakfast in America is worthy on this list, even though it's a little mainstream, you know? You see it in the record store bin for like $2. It's easy to get, great music, great produced album. But their best album, no doubt, and it will make you look like the sexiest person in the room. Whether you play the music or not, it's crime of the century. Especially if you got this little bar on it, oh my god, you're gonna be the sexiest person in the room. Holding it, owning it, you know? This is just a magical album, beautifully produced. Just a perfect album all the way through. Not a single moment. Maybe like the ending of Asylum's a little long, but no. Worth it because all these other songs are 10 out of 10. This album is just magical, and if you don't believe me, listen to it and then go jump off a bridge. I don't care. I know it's good, and you know it too. Don't jump off a bridge. God, I know you were about to do it, my bad, but just stick around. Wait till the end of the video. Now, we're getting to another amazing band that honestly, any of their albums could be on this list. Their whole discography. They're probably the coolest band in the world. If you disagree with me, too bad, because we all know Steely Dan is where it's at. And I was going to go with Asia at first, because I love Asia. Probably my favorite Steely Dan album. But this is the cool one. This is the coolest Steely Dan album. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your reasons why. But I mean, the production's so slick. Those keyboard textures... oh my god, they will turn you on. I mean, I know they turn me on, and they'll turn your friends on too. Maybe not your mom, but I mean, just stuff like Babylon Sisters, Gaucho, the title track. Oh my god, that is like such a banging song. Like you want to bang to it. That's how good it is. Time Out of Mind, Third World Man. Oh my god, Third World Man. Third World Man. I'm not even gonna like say it, but just Third World Man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Gaucho, slick album artwork, slick music. Alright, I've lost track, so sorry if you're counting, and I'm fine. Now, that's an album I reviewed a while ago. Definitely hard to come by, so if you could come by it, definitely get it, you know? Just get it. It's one of the best psych albums I've ever heard. And I think I know my psych music well. And if you know your psych music too, you know that Ultimate Spinach is vastly underrated, underappreciated. But those who do appreciate it are the coolest guys in the world, or gals in the world, or in-betweens, you know? This album is just magical. It's got some of the most defining psych songs in my opinion, with like Visions of Your Reality and fucking Mind Flowers, bro. Mind Flowers. If your friends aren't impressed by Mind Flowers, throw them out of your room because they're not your friends anymore, you know? Because it's Ultimate Spinach, you know? It makes me want to smoke some Ultimate Spinach just by listening to it. What else? We're getting up there. Okay. I don't have the one step for this. Sorry, I'm not cool, I guess. But I don't give a rat's ass because I have the poster for this album and it's the best Santana album, hands down. Abraxas. This is one of the first albums I ever got, and it just blew my mind, you know? Just the first side alone, with Singing Winds, Crying Beasts going into Black Magic Woman, that going into Oye Como Va, and then ending on Incident at Neshaber. Sorry, I'm white, so I probably mispronounced that, but you know? This album is just produced so nicely. Santana is just such a hip guitar player. I don't know about his stuff after this, but I know that like the first 5 Santana albums are pretty bomb. And I always enjoy this album whenever I put it on. I know most people do too, so maybe it's mainstream, maybe you're mainstream, maybe I'm a little mainstream, so I guess we're all fine here. If you don't know this album, wild, but get to know it, you know? Abraxas, Santana. Alright, how many I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 left. 5 left. Okay. This one I just got in the mail recently because I never find it in stores, but it's probably my favorite country album so far. I don't listen to a lot of country music, but when I hear something like this, I'm like, goddamn, put that on my speakers. And this album, I can never get enough of. It is the Flying fucking Burrito Brothers. Chris Hillman, Graham Parsons, Chris Etheridge, and Sneaky Pete. These guys got together to make one of the best country albums I've ever heard. When I first heard this album, it blew my mind. I was hiking, I was just like, whatever, like, I hope it's like Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Psh, this blows Sweetheart of the Rodeo out of the fucking water. And that's a great album too, but this is like if they did Hickory Wind for 12 tracks, you know, however many tracks there are. This is just such an amazing album, beautifully sounding. This is one of the albums that I play when I'm like, oh, you don't like country music? Well, I guess you're a fool if you don't like this. And then they end up feeling foolish because they end up liking it. So, yeah. Here's to ya. Okay. Maybe this one's a little mainstream. No, I don't think so. I don't think average people know this record. But if you know your 60s psych rock, you know that Forever Changes by Love is one of the pinnacles of psych rock. Especially when it comes to easygoing psych rock. I mean, songs like Alone Again, and More Again, Daily Planet, Old Man, You Set the Scene. I mean, this whole album you could play through and just be like in a wonderland of assortments, you know? Whether you're taking tabs, shrooms, lines, whatever your concoction may be, you'll be grinning along to these jolly songs and jolly Arthur Lee doing his Arthur Lee thing. Just such a great album. You know it. I'm just explaining it to you to remind you. Now, here's one of the first albums I thought of when I was deciding to write or record this. You know, do this video. Whoa, you and I are doing right now. It is the album that will get people leaving your room, but only the people that aren't hip. Just so you know, it is White Light, White Heat, Velvet Underground. This album is just as rebellious as Trout Mask, in my opinion. And maybe not as daring, but fuck yeah, it's daring. Sister Ray, just skip all the other songs. If you're gonna play music if you're gonna play this record, just go to Sister Ray and be like, if you don't like it, get it out of my face, you know? But they won't. They want to kiss your face because they're gonna be blown away by how good it is. And how in your face, you know, the music is. Not them being in your face, but unless you want it, then I hope I could give that to you. I mean, yeah. Is it the best Velvet Underground record? No. But it's like, they're all great albums. There's only 4. There's 5, but you know there's only 4. But yeah. Then we come to the only record that I think came out in the 90s or something. Sorry, I'm just so hip with my 60s records and all. It's all I have. But this record will make you look super cool. This is the song that when I first started smoking weed, this is the first song I ever listened to that, like, really took me to Mars. And I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened for half of it. And if you know what song it is, you know why. It is Dopesmoker by Sleep. This is, yeah, crystal clear, or not clear, with the green vinyl. Whoa, trust me. Maybe I'll show it a little, but this album is just a banger, you know? This is, when you tell people, oh, I like long songs, like, oh, what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes? No, fucking hour, bro. Check it. And they're like, how do you even listen to it? I'm like, well, I don't, but when I do, it rocks, you know? What's great about this, too, is just, like, on vinyl, it's kind of like a cock tease, you know? You play the first 20 minutes, people are like, wow. And they're like, what happened? And they're like, well, you gotta flip it over. And they're like, doesn't that kill the purpose? Be like, man, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm just having a good time. I assume everyone who owns this record feels the same way, you know? Oh, sorry, Miles Davis is amazing. But unfortunately, we're coming to a close already. This sucks. I was really enjoying getting to know you guys, or at least you guys laughing at me or cheering me on. But now we're going to talk about the album that inspired me to make this video. I saw a while ago on the internet that this album that I have waiting for you was considered one of the coolest albums of all time. And that's what kind of gave me the idea. I'm like, wait, what's the coolest albums? Like, what? That's not the best, it's not the worst, it's just the coolest. Like, and this album I do think is very cool, and I feel like underrepresented in the psych community. It is Happy Trails by Quicksilver Messenger Service. This record will warp your mind and make you twisted, you know? I mean, just like the jamming on here. If you like Grateful Dead shit, this is like basically Grateful Dead level jamming. Amazing performances. I mean, like I said, Calvary. The way they're able to blend the live stuff into that studio fucking madness blows my mind whenever I hear it. Amazing record. Cowboy Psych? Sure, if that's what you want to call it, I'll take it. It's just some groovy psychedelic jamming, you know? And it hits hard. Now, I should have opened with the 2 albums I don't have that I wanted to address that are super fucking cool. But I don't have them. Does that make me not cool? I'll let you decide. I think I'm not cool to begin with. I thought I was cool with these records, but I'm still missing 2 records. Two. The first one, I will get it whether my mom wants me to get it or not, but it is 666 by Aphrodite's Child. That, alongside The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, is one of the best concept albums I've ever heard. That one's very psychedelic, and it's just so amazing. In terms of how the atmosphere on that record is, oh my god, just everything from the beginning to end. The Infinity song, yes, it's kind of bad. I will admit, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of that, but it works. It works. Whatever. What does it say? It's like, I come, I am, I is. You know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, well, suck it, you know? But then the last album, like I said, I will not be cool until I get this album in my collection. It is the coolest album. If you had to choose any of these albums from my list, ignore all the albums I showed you. Ignore 666. The only album that matters, the only cool album that exists, maybe, is the Shag's Philosophy of the World. That guy will make you look so cool that people will want you to do their homework for them. They'll want you to do everything for them because you could do it so well because you listen to the Shags while you do it. Fucking Shags. I'm not even gonna go into why. If you know, you know. You know? I bet you know. So, there you go. It was kind of fun letting loose for a half fucking hour, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, so I'd love to see what you guys think. And yeah, just be around. Be around for the next video on these reviews. So, until then, I'll see you later. Ta-ta.